Stop scrolling right now, because what you are about to hear could completely change the way you think about retirement travel. Every single day, thousands of seniors just like you are boarding magnificent cruise ships, sailing to breathtaking destinations, eating gourmet meals, and living their absolute best lives. And they are doing it without blowing their entire savings. Meanwhile, others are sitting at home convinced they simply cannot afford it. That stops today. The travel industry does not want you to know how ridiculously affordable cruising can actually be when you know exactly what you are doing. We are not talking about cutting corners or settling for less. We are talking about smart, strategic moves that put you on that ship without the financial guilt. If you are living on a fixed income and you have been told that luxury travel is out of your reach, that is flat out wrong, and we are about to prove it. Stay locked in, because the next few minutes are going to arm you with everything you need to finally make that cruise happen. Let me be brutally honest with you right now. Every single day you spend believing that cruising is out of your budget is another day you are robbing yourself of experiences you have absolutely earned. This is not about being reckless with your retirement savings. This is about destroying the financial myths that have been quietly stealing your joy for years. The cruise industry does not want you sitting at home convinced you cannot afford them. They are actively fighting for your business with deals, discounts, and senior-specific pricing that most people never even bother to look for. And here is the hard truth that nobody tells you. While you have been dismissing cruising as something for the ultra-rich, thousands of seniors on budgets just like yours have been sailing the Mediterranean, exploring Alaska, and waking up in the Caribbean, all without breaking the bank. So stop accepting limitations that do not actually exist. We are about to tear apart every single financial excuse standing between you and the trip of a lifetime, and by the time we are done, you will have zero reasons left to say you cannot afford to cruise. Now that we've established cruising isn't just for the wealthy, let's talk about something that makes it genuinely remarkable as a vacation option. What's actually included in that base fare? When you book a cruise, your ticket typically covers your accommodation, all main dining meals, onboard entertainment like live shows, comedy acts, and musical performances, plus transportation between every destination on your itinerary. Think about that for a moment. On a land-based vacation, you're separately paying for hotels, restaurants, taxis, and activity tickets every single day. Those costs add up fast and are nearly impossible to predict. With a cruise, most of your major daily expenses are locked in before you even leave home. That predictability is genuinely priceless when you're managing a fixed income and need to know exactly where your money is going. Now let's talk real numbers, because this is where things get exciting for budget-conscious seniors. Cruise cabins generally fall into three categories, each with a different price point. Inside cabins have no window and are the most affordable option, often running between $50 and $75 per person per day on base fare. Ocean view cabins offer a porthole or window and typically land between $75 and $100 per person per day. Balcony cabins, while lovely, can push well beyond $100 daily and may not be necessary for first-time cruisers watching their spending. For a senior on a fixed income, that inside cabin is genuinely your best friend. Many experienced cruisers will tell you they barely spend time in their room anyway, making that upgrade simply not worth the extra cost. Stop throwing your retirement money away on the wrong cruise line, because most people do exactly that, and it costs them thousands. Here's the brutal truth. Carnival, Norwegian, and MSC are crushing it for budget-conscious travelers, delivering incredible dining, world-class entertainment, and stunning destinations at a fraction of what premium lines charge. Meanwhile, repositioning cruises are the dirty little secret the travel industry doesn't advertise loudly enough. When ships relocate between regions like the Caribbean and Europe, cruise lines are practically begging you to take those cabins at rock-bottom prices. And if you have any flexibility in your schedule whatsoever, last-minute deals booked within 30 to 60 days of departure will absolutely shatter your expectations of what cruising on a fixed income looks like. The opportunity is real, it's massive, and it's waiting for you right now. Now that you know which cruise lines offer the best value, let's talk about timing. Because when you sail matters just as much as where you sail. The absolute best windows for budget cruising are early January, right after the holiday rush, and late August, when families are settling back into school routines. These off-peak periods see dramatically lower fares because demand drops sharply. Shoulder seasons, those transitional weeks between peak and off-peak travel, also offer excellent pricing with fewer crowds on board. And here is the thing, less crowded ships are actually a significant advantage for older travelers. Shorter lines at the buffet, quieter pool decks, easier access to elevators, and more attentive service from staff. Traveling during these quieter periods is not a compromise. For seniors, it is genuinely the superior experience. Now that you know when to cruise, let's talk about how to actually find those lower prices. One of the easiest starting points is signing up directly for cruise line newsletters. These emails often contain flash sales and exclusive promotions that never get widely advertised. Next, consider working with a travel agent who specializes in senior travel. These professionals know the market deeply and can match you with deals that fit your specific needs and budget. Websites like Cruise Critic and Cruise Sheet are also incredibly valuable, allowing you to compare prices across multiple sailings in one place. Now, regarding timing your booking, early booking discounts typically offer the best cabin selection and lowest fares, sometimes locking in savings of several $100s. Last-minute deals can work beautifully for flexible seniors without strict scheduling commitments. Both strategies have merit, depending on your personal situation. Now, here is where many seniors leave serious money on the table. There are discounts specifically designed for you that often go completely unclaimed, simply because people do not know they exist. AARP members can access negotiated rates and onboard credits through partnerships with several major cruise lines, sometimes saving over $100 per booking just by being a member. If you or your spouse served in the military, many cruise lines offer dedicated military discounts that stack with other promotions. Then there are loyalty programs and past passenger discounts. Carnival has their VIFP Club, Royal Caribbean has Crown and Anchor, and Norwegian has Latitudes Rewards. Even after just one cruise, you start earning benefits. These programs reward repeat cruisers with priority boarding, onboard credits, and reduced fares. Check every single one before booking. Now that you know where to find discounts, let's talk about the costs that quietly sneak up on cruisers who aren't prepared. These extras can add hundreds of dollars to your trip if you're not watching carefully. Gratuities typically run between $16 and $20 per person per day, which we'll cover in depth shortly. Specialty dining restaurants charge anywhere from $30 to $60 per person per meal. Drink packages can cost $50 to $100 per person per day. Shore excursions booked through the cruise line average $60 to $150 per person. Onboard Wi-Fi runs about $20 to $30 daily. Spa services start around $120 per treatment. Knowing these numbers up front means you can decide exactly which extras are worth it and which ones you'll happily skip. Now let's talk about gratuities, because this is one cost that genuinely surprises many first-time cruisers. Most cruise lines automatically add a daily service charge ranging from $16 to $20 per person per day. On a 7-night cruise for 2 people, that adds up to roughly $220 to $280 total, which is significant on a fixed income. So should you prepay gratuities? Absolutely yes, when possible. Many cruise lines allow you to add gratuities at booking, locking in the current rate and spreading the cost before you sail. This prevents sticker shock at checkout. Here is the important truth. These charges support your room steward, dining staff, and behind-the-scenes crew who genuinely work hard. Rather than feeling guilty, simply budget for it up front like any other confirmed expense. It is a built-in part of the cruise experience. Now let's talk about one of the most enjoyable parts of cruising, the food. The good news is that most cruise lines include a remarkable amount of dining at no extra cost. Your main dining room, buffet and casual eateries are all covered in your fare. For seniors on a fixed income, these options are genuinely excellent and more than satisfying. Specialty restaurants like steakhouses or sushi bars can charge $15 to $50 per person extra, so skip them unless it's a special occasion. Many cruise lines allow you to bring a limited amount of beverages on board, typically 1 bottle of wine per person at embarkation. As for drink packages, they usually run $60 to $100 per person per day. If you drink moderately, they rarely pay off. Stick to included beverages and save that money for something more meaningful. Now let's talk about one of the biggest budget drains on any cruise: shore excursions. When you book through the cruise line, you're paying a serious premium for convenience. A simple city tour that costs $40 independently might run $100 or more through the ship. That's a massive difference, especially on a fixed income. Independent tour operators in most ports offer the same experiences, sometimes with smaller groups and more personal attention, at 50 to 70% less. Websites like Viator, Get Your Guide, and even TripAdvisor can help you research options before you ever leave home. And sometimes the best option is simply exploring on your own. Many ports are completely walkable, with free beaches, markets and historic sites just steps from the dock. A little research beforehand truly transforms your port experience without emptying your wallet. Now let's talk about getting to the ship, because this is where many seniors quietly overspend without realizing it. Transportation to and from the port can add several $100s to your trip before you even step on board. If you have flexibility, driving to a nearby home port is almost always the most affordable option. Ports like Tampa, Galveston, Baltimore and New Orleans serve large regions of the country, making road trips genuinely practical. Flying, while sometimes necessary, adds airfare, baggage fees and airport transfers. If you must fly, book early and compare nearby airports. Also consider that choosing a departure port closest to your home can eliminate overnight hotel stays entirely. That single decision alone could save a senior couple $200 to $400 right from the start. Now that we've covered getting to the port affordably, let's talk about something many budget travelers try to skip: travel insurance. For seniors, this is absolutely non-negotiable. Standard Medicare does not cover you outside the United States, meaning a medical emergency at sea could cost tens of thousands of dollars out of pocket. A solid policy should include medical evacuation coverage of at least $100,000, trip cancellation protection, and emergency medical coverage. Average costs typically run between 5 to 10% of your total trip cost. To find competitive rates, use comparison sites like Insure My Trip or Squaremouth, where you can filter by age and coverage needs. Never sacrifice medical evacuation coverage just to save a few dollars. One helicopter transport alone can exceed $50,000. Now let's talk about something many seniors overlook until it's too late: health and medical costs at sea. The ship's medical center is convenient, but it comes with serious price tags. A simple doctor's visit can run $150 to $250, and that's before any treatment or medication. Here's something critical. Medicare generally does not cover you on international waters or in foreign ports. That gap can be financially devastating without proper planning. Always bring more prescription medication than you think you need, ideally a 2-week buffer beyond your trip length. Ask your doctor for extra supplies well in advance. Supplemental insurance plans like Medigap or travel-specific medical policies can fill those Medicare gaps beautifully. Some cruise-specific insurance packages bundle medical coverage with trip cancellation, giving you comprehensive protection at a reasonable combined rate. One of the easiest ways to protect your cruise budget is simply packing the right things from home. Ships charge premium prices for items you can grab at any drugstore before you leave. Over-the-counter medications like pain relievers, antacids, motion sickness tablets, and cold remedies can cost 2 to 3 times more on board. Sunscreen is another major offender, sometimes priced at $15 to $20 for a small bottle. Pack enough for every port day. If your cruise includes a formal night, know that a simple dark outfit you already own works perfectly fine. You do not need to purchase anything new. Also bring a reusable water bottle, a small power strip without surge protection, and any toiletries you prefer. These small preparations can save you $50 to $100 effortlessly. Let's make this concrete with a real sample budget for 2 seniors on a 7-night cruise. Start with the cruise fare for an inside cabin, roughly $800 to $1,200 for 2 people during an off-peak sailing. Add prepaid gratuities at approximately $17 per person per day, totaling around $238 for the week. Port fees and taxes typically run another $150 to $200. Budget one shore excursion at around $100 for the couple if booked independently. Travel insurance for seniors averages $150 to $250 depending on age and coverage level. Add transportation to the port at roughly $150 and incidental spending money at $200. Your realistic grand total lands between $1,900 and $2,800 for 2 people, completely manageable on a fixed income. Now that you have a solid budget foundation, let us talk about squeezing even more value from every dollar. Cruise line loyalty programs are genuinely powerful over time. Lines like Carnival, Royal Caribbean, and Norwegian reward repeat cruisers with onboard credits, cabin upgrades, and priority boarding. These perks accumulate beautifully for seniors who cruise regularly. If you enjoy casino games, many cruise lines offer casino credits and complimentary cruise offers to frequent players. Booking back-to-back cruises on the same ship often unlocks special discounts and sometimes a free cabin night between sailings. Always ask your travel agent about onboard credit promotions when booking. Finally, joining online cruise communities like Cruise Critic forums connects you with thousands of experienced cruisers actively sharing current deals, discount codes, and money-saving strategies that you simply cannot find anywhere else. If you have concerns about mobility or getting around a large ship, you are far from alone. Modern cruise ships are genuinely well designed for older passengers, featuring elevators throughout, wheelchair-accessible cabins, grab bars, ramp access, and medical staff on board around the clock. When booking, simply request an accessible stateroom early as they fill quickly. For solo travelers, the dreaded single supplement, which often doubles your fare, can be avoided by choosing cruise lines like Norwegian or MSC that offer dedicated solo cabins at no extra charge, or by watching for single supplement waiver promotions. Some lines also offer cabin sharing programs pairing solo travelers together. The bottom line is that cruise ships genuinely cater to seniors, making them one of the most comfortable and accommodating travel options available for older adults today. You have made it through everything you need to know about cruising on a fixed income, and hopefully one thing is crystal clear. This is absolutely within your reach. Cruising is not reserved for the wealthy. It is one of the smartest, most value-packed ways for seniors to see the world without blowing through savings. Start small if you need to. Choose a 3 or 4 night cruise close to home, pick an inside cabin, skip the extras, and simply enjoy the experience. Then build from there. Every cruise teaches you something new about how to do it better and cheaper next time. The ocean is waiting, the ships are ready, and your adventure does not have to cost a fortune. Take that first step, start planning today, and make your cruise dream a reality.